Good evening, everyone. My name is Vernisha Jones, and I am the president of the West Garfield Park Youth Council. And we believe that we are the solution to the issues in our community. Our theme is Nothing With Us Without Us. The West Garfield Park Youth Council is sponsored by Fathers Who Care, which is a nonprofit organization located on the west side of Chicago within the West Garfield Park community. Again, everyone, my name is Vernisha Jones, and I am the president of the West Garfield Park Youth Council. The West Garfield Park Youth Council is comprised of young people from our community whose focus and concern is youth leadership and a voice within the community to reduce senseless violence and illegal substance use. We invite people from all over to come in and see what we're all about, especially our young people. Our show will be scheduled every Thursday at 7 p.m. Again, that is every Thursday at 7 p.m. Our show can also be viewed online at www.cantv.org/live. Again, that is www.cantv.org/live. Well, everyone, I would like to introduce my guest this evening. Thank you for being a guest on my show this evening, Miss Toni Galloway. Again, I'm Vernisha Jones, and I'm the president of the West Garfield Park Youth Council, and you are watching a live interactive program brought to you by CanTV 21. During the next 25 minutes, we are going to discuss community leaders engaging and empowering our youth through social change and community empowerment. So I have some questions for you. I want to get into a little discussion, and our discussion, like I said, is going to be based on us talking about the young people in our community and everything that they have going on. Mm-hmm. Okay? Can you tell our audience a little bit about Toni Galloway? Not Miss Toni Galloway, Toni Galloway.
Venetia, thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure. Again, my name is Toni Galloway. I am a part of the community. I've been in the community for over 25 years. So that entails the work that I do and the community in which the work that I do in my community. So actually it may be more than 25 years. But with that, I believe in giving back to the community and helping with community efforts and building relationships within the community, and that entails with children, families, and any other parts of the community, churches, and so forth and so on. So that is one of my strong points. I do believe in community and organizations that help promote, build healthy, thriving communities.
Okay, and I see that you're saying that you've been doing this work for so long. Why are you so passionate in the work that you do? Like what motivates you to keep going with wanting to help people and be a helping hand?
Sure. Actually, I started at a very young age. It was instilled upon me to work in the community. I started with soup kitchens, teaching kids how to read and babysitting and stuff like that. So I started very young because that was something my parents thought to instill upon us to give back and to help in the community any way that we can.
Okay, that sounds great because people always ask me, what made you start doing the work that you do? And I have, literally the same background where it was something that was instilled in me. I was babysitting kids. I had a lot of nieces and nephews, so I was around kids 24/7. And it was just, I always felt a pleasure of putting a smile on somebody else's face. It's regardless to what it is I'm doing, it's I always felt good when I felt like I was making somebody else happy. That's always been a pleasure for me. So I feel like that's one of my things that pushed me to want to continue to do the work and what motivates me, because to see somebody happy, it
and giving back, absolutely.
Brings joy to my day. Like holidays and stuff, we used to always, instead on Christmas Eve, we always, instead of just being in the house being kids playing with toys and stuff, we always went to soup kitchens and went to homeless shelters and gave back to the community. So it's that stuff always made me feel some type of way to see other people happy, and I'm being one.
And giving, and not expecting anything back, but just not expecting anything back, and just being out there, like you said, making people happy. And sharing, because sharing is caring, right?
Yes.
So that was part of it. And again, being in the community, you want to see strong, thriving communities, okay? So that's a great part of it as well. So
Okay, I definitely agree. So how can we collectively work together to save our children in our community? As you probably have seen, and like I just told you as far as me with social media, I deleted Facebook for some time. I deleted it off of the strength of me feeling as though anytime I opened Facebook, it was something negative. I'm seeing somebody getting killed, somebody dying from this, dying from that, and it was like it became so traumatizing because I got to a point where I felt like it was normal. Like hearing about somebody dying shouldn't be something that you feel is normal.
Right.
And so, like I told you, I deleted social media for a while because I'm trying to focus on just myself and not be engaged or seeing the negative that's going on and try to focus on the positive that we have.
Sure. Yeah.
And so, seeing that all this is going on, how do you feel like we can collectively work together to make some ways to save our children because, like, it's getting crazy.
And that is a very good point. You brought up social media. Yes, it may have its advantages as far as information, so forth and so on, but it's how you utilize that information. And kids nowadays, they're on social media. They're walking down the street with their phones or their laptops and, communication has gone out the window, and even eye contact has gone out the window. And I think we should just stick with the basics of just being people, everyday people.
I don't think people know how to be that. No.
Right, and having a conversation. Having an open conversation, some dialogue, and it's something as simple as hello.
Yeah.
Or thank you, or have a nice day. You don't see that kind of interaction anymore. It's social media, like you said, you're taking a break from social media, and that's great. But also utilizing the services that are out there. There are plenty of services out there. It needs to be pushed more. Community events, even just being at home doing things as a family. Okay, and I think we've gotten away from that as well. So those are the basics, in my opinion, and we need to get back to that. Just having, sitting at the table, having a meal, and just saying, "How was your day?" And opening it up for discussion, talking to your kids. Find out what's going on with them, and not just like, oh, dinner's ready and you got the phone in your hand and then you go into your room, close the door, and you don't see them until the next day. So,
starting at home.
Yeah, it starts at home. It starts at home. So we need to, again, go back to basics, in my opinion. So.
I agree. I definitely agree with that as far as us working together. I also would say, like, just programming. I know we have a lot of programs, but getting the programs more out there for the young people to know about. Parents being more involved with with enforcing kids to actually come out to programs and be a part of programs where it's getting they mad out of their phones and having them have more stuff to do outside of school hours, because I feel like that's one of the big things that we have struggles with when it comes to our young people with programming and stuff like that. Absolutely, where they don't, if they don't want to come, they don't have to come.
Well, here's the thing that I've noticed being out in the community, and even if the parents get their kids involved, that doesn't mean you just drop your kids off.
You gotta be involved.
Take off. You have to be involved as well. I mean,
they got to see you have some type of interest in
it.
Right.
Right. I mean, I can be there and 10 kids, and I can be chaperoning, whatever the case may be, and they may feel comfortable and they may not, but I'm not the parent. Yeah. And I think the parents should be involved in that, and any additional hands, what village as we call it, can partake as well, but the parents definitely have to be involved with their own children and their surrounding environment to know. How do you know what your kid like and what they don't like?
A lot of times they don't know.
They don't know.
You don't know.
And then when something happens, and it's like, okay, what happened? Well,
all I know is that growing up, my child liked to do this, and they
really don't know. So there's a disconnect, and there has to be, again, that foundation of reconnecting. So again, it starts at home.
I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Can you tell our audience about a highlight you've encountered within the last year during the line of duty? Meaning, anything like we spoke on as far as us being people that like to help other people, or anything that has been just a general highlight in the line of work that you do that has happened within the last.
I think overall, as I've become more and more involved with the youth, there's been activities where you see a variety of children getting together of all walks of life, getting together and just enjoying themselves, not thinking about this, not thinking about that on the negative aspect, but just enjoying the event and their surroundings and other people or other peers, other people of their peers in that environment. So just seeing that and partaking in partaking in them enjoying and broadening their horizons, so to speak, is rewarding in itself.
Okay. I definitely, I agree with that as well. Because as far as our young people, it's hard to get a group of young people in a setting without it being negative things occurring from it.
Exactly.
So when you could actually get groups of young people together and it's all positive vibes and it's not so much of, but because a lot of stuff we're dealing with nowadays is like a lot of bullying, a lot of cyberbullying and stuff like that. So when you can get a group of kids together that's all on the same page and all looking at the same light, I feel like that's definitely always amazing.
Absolutely, that's a plus. And you see it. I'm starting to see it a little bit more, but again, there's a lot more work to be done in that regards. If organizations get together and promote more of these events and bring out the youth and get them involved, then I think we can head in the right direction.
Okay. And that's all about involvement. Like I said, as far as organizations are just getting together and doing more work together and not everybody trying to do solo. So, do you have any advice for young people that desire to improve their quality of life, but maybe having something? Because, everybody don't come from a two-parent household. Everybody don't come from a household where it's like, I'm coming home and I'm loved at home. So, it's like, we have to have ways of life for everybody where, it's not all the same.
And that's true. It can, again, we mentioned home, and we all know that may not be as easy as saying that.
Yes.
But then when you're in school, if you have a favorite teacher, whether it's in school, church, Chicago Police Department, Chicago Fire Department, if you're interested in something like becoming a firefighter or something like that, or a paramedic, get to know, some of those people and find out what it takes to become a police officer or a fireman or woman, or whatever. I mean, don't be afraid, but there has to be dialogue. It's kind of, I don't know, that's interesting. But I would say start with that. I mean, back in the day, there was always an open relationship with your gym teacher. You can talk to your gym teacher or a counselor. I mean, I'm not really sure what they're doing now, but I would think that would still be the case. I'm not sure.
I honestly feel like it's more like, I feel like that, because even when I was in school, I'm not that far away from, but when I was in school, it was more like, you felt the love. You know how they say, like, with babies, they know, even though they a baby, they know who they like and who they don't like and who like them and who don't. Yeah. I feel like it's the same way with kids. Like, they know when people actually truly care for them. And I feel like back in the day, it was more of people in a work environment that actually cared about the kids, where this day and age, a lot of times it seems as though it's like, it's just a job. I'm just doing this to do my job and I'm gone. Like, I don't want to talk to no kids outside of work. I don't want to.
And that's unfortunate. And that's why I was a little hesitant, because the way things are going, it has to go both ways.
Yes.
So, teachers, I'm going to use teachers, there has to be an open door where a student can come to you and say, hey, I'm having this problem, whether it's their homework or whatever. They should be able to come to you and talk to you, or a counselor or whatever, and say, hey, and have an open discussion. I remember I was close with my gym teacher. We would talk about different things because I was, big into fitness and all of that. So, Miss Wise Miller, if you're out there, you have to find your niche and find who you're comfortable with and have open dialogue if it's available to you, or find someone you trust and have a conversation with. It's maybe easier said than done, but it can be done.
It can happen, for sure.
Can happen. Yeah.
What do you feel is the state of our young people in Chicago, like, in your opinion?
I'm going to keep hope alive. Okay, I'm going to keep hope alive because people like you and myself, and we're out there working and doing the work and working in the community and trying to make it better for everyone. There's hope, and we just have to keep pushing towards that and keep that door open and hope people walk through that door.
Because you can't help everybody, but if you can help a person,
right.
you're doing something closer to the job.
Exactly. At my point, exactly. So keeping that door open, lines of communications open, and open hearts, and be honest about what you're doing, then I think it's obtainable.
Okay. And so, like I said earlier when we were speaking about just in general about our young people, what do you feel is like some issues and concerns that are negatively impacting our young people in the city of Chicago? And I know we said as far as helping, we could just stick with, just being more of open communication, being there when the kids need you. But what do you feel is some things that's, affecting them, or, concerns that they're having as young people growing up in Chicago?
It's the influence.
Social media.
Influence.
Social media.
Social media probably plays a big part in that. I mean, the way they utilize social media may be different than how I utilize it.
Yeah.
Okay, and how you utilize it, or anyone else utilizes it. But mainly from what I've seen, the youth has used social media as a front, so to speak. I don't know if that's the right word, but it's there. Hey, there's a party over here. Let's go there, and then you got this possible chaos, know, and that's not positive. So it should be used. Social media was designed to be as a positive. And I remember when it first came out, Facebook. It was more like for networking. People started businesses and successful businesses through Facebook. Okay, Facebook was huge. And like I said, I know a lot of people who have businesses, great businesses, through Facebook. And they utilize it to network, meet people, say, hey, come out to my business. I'm promoting this, that, and the other, blah, 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 blah. And they flew. But if you're going to promote it to have fights and whatever, photograph fights and stuff like that's not a positive thing. I think you should be utilizing your time for much, much better things. And be an entrepreneur. Get started on that, So, and you can open it up and people view it. So that's a great way to go as far as on the positive aspect, but not as a negative. But I see a lot of negative, and that's not good. I think that's why, like yourself, have pulled away from social media, because it's not a good vibe and not great energy. So, and I think people are pretty much fed up with that.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking. Like I said, just seeing so much stuff. Just recently that occurred from like young people dying, drugs being used, drinking and stuff like that. And like I said, I knew it was around when I was younger, but it wasn't as open to be okay. And now it seems like it's just okay for a 12-year-old to be smoking, or okay for an 11-year-old to be drinking. And so I feel like it's definitely like it's a lot of stuff that's impacting our young people in a negative way. And like you said, I feel like if we all work together, we can make a difference.
Sure,
we can definitely make a difference when it comes to our young people. Just take it day at a time, and actually like understand that they are young people, and it might not be something that happens overnight, but it's possible. So don't give up on them.
Yeah, and to your point, and hear what they're saying. I mean, you can talk all day long, but they have a voice as well. So listening to them and find out where they're coming from and what their issues are, and meet them halfway. But you can't be the only one talking just because you're an adult. I mean, they have a voice as well. So let it be an open discussion and find out where they're coming from and have a better understanding. And I think that's one way to resolve some of the issues, because no one's listening to them. They have a voice as well. So I think that's a start.
Okay, and me also, I know as far as youth programs, on the west side, I don't know too many on the south side, but if anybody is ever looking for any youth programs for their kids coming up in the summertime, you can always contact us at Fathers Who Care at 773-287-5821. We also have a youth program where we open up our offices to young people from Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., where we have an outlet where you can come talk to somebody if you need help with homework, if you need to use a computer, anything, any information. If we can't give it to you, we always look out for people that can. But I know it's quite a few like little summer jobs that's coming up for the summertime for our young people, and also just more programming like culinary and different stuff like that. So if we have any young people out there between the ages, most of the ages be between 16, I'll say like 13, because we probably have some programs with 13 to 24 with young people. I would definitely recommend you guys to reach out to us with if you need any type of direction. And if we can't give it to you, we would definitely give you someone contact that can.
And Vernisha, on that point, yes, the West Side has awesome programs. I've worked with some organizations that do South Side as well.
Yes.
But I would love to, and I work with, like I said, work with a lot of people on the West Side, and would love to see or pull that information, bridge that, and bring it to the South Side as well, because again, the West Side has amazing programs.
But you guys, it's amazing programs out there too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's definitely amazing.
But the more the merrier, the better, and
bringing them together.
Bring them together, and having it available. The different programs that the West Side may have, the South Side may not have,
yes,
and vice versa. So it will be a great collaboration. And that's why I think leaders should get together and push to, for example, like Build. Build is awesome.
Yes.
I work with them quite a bit, and Fathers Who Care and all of that. So it's imperative for everyone to work together. If we want to, help our youth, let's do that. And with full force, because we're losing too many, and they have no direction. So we as adults and parents and aunts or whatever need to step in and say, hey, I don't want to lose any more kids. So we need to help them and provide services, because they're there, and we need to utilize programs or funding to help get these things started, and just not talk about it, be about it. So let's go.
I definitely agree. And if you're just not tuning in, our guest on the show tonight is Miss Toni C. Galloway. And we are discussing community leaders engaging and empowering our youth through social change and community empowerment. We would like to thank everyone for watching, and also, like I said, we have our drop-in program at Fathers Who Care. If you have any young people between the ages of 16 through 24, you can always come down, or if you want to call us about any information, you can contact us at 773-287-5821. Again, that number is 773-287-5821. Our doors are always open for new young people.
Yes.
And is there anything else you would like to say?
No, just everyone stay safe, keep your head up, keep it moving, and just
have a safe summer.
Have a safe summer. Yes.
Safe summer.
Enjoy. Yeah,
yes.
Enjoy it the way it should be. Enjoy it, and peace.
Peace. Thank you, and tune in next week, same time, same station.